Hello and welcome back to another video, and today we have my Orcust Scrap Orcust post eternity code deck profile for you guys. Orcust got a huge boost with the new card Gearsu, the Orcust Mech Knight, and it's an absolutely insane card, and it completely boosts the deck, and I think it's an amazing choice to play in the May 2020 Master Rule 5 format. Before we get into the video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and join the Discord server. The link is in the description. And let's get right into the video. So first off, we have 3 Gearsu, the Orcust Mech Knight. So this is a new card where basically, if it's normal or special summon, you can send one Orcust or World Legacy card from your deck to the graveyard. Then if there are 2 or more cards after the card resolves, or sorry, if there are 2 or more cards in the cards column, then you treat it as a tuner. Basically, this card is absolutely insane because you can send your World Wand, you can send Nightmare, and all of the cards that you need engraved for the scenario. And it's an absolutely insane card because it basically, you don't really need Harp Horror anymore. Harp Horror is just an amazing card, but you don't need it anymore because of Gearsu and other combos in the deck. Now, onto our we have 1 Armageddon Knight and 1 Dark Graph. They're very self-explanatory. They're very good cards. They just send your Orcust cards from the deck directly to the graveyard. We also have 3 Orcust Nightmare. This is one of the best cards in the deck. You cannot play the deck without this card. If this card got banned, the deck is about as dead as barriers, I don't know, X-Sabers, for example. Basically, what it does is that when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it and send from deck 1 Dark Machine monster. So this includes the Gizmek, this includes a Wand, this includes everything. But it's an amazing, amazing card, and you definitely want to use 3 of this card. We also have 2 Orcust Symbol Skeleton. Some people are running 1, but I like 2 because I feel like it's very good in the grand game to have a second one. We also have 2 World Legacy World Wand because this card is absolutely insane. It's also why the deck is still playable. I definitely think this card is absolutely nuts. And we also have onto the Scrap Engine, which would be a 3 Scrap Recycler and 1 Scrap Golem. Scrap Recycler is basically the replacement for Mathematician. When it's normal or special summon, you can send 1 Machine monster from your deck to your graveyard. And once per turn, the second effect doesn't matter for the deck because they're all Dark Machines. And we also have Scrap Golem, where once per turn you can select 1 level 4 lower Scrap monster in your graveyard and special summon it to either player's side of the field. So this will special summon back your Recycler, and Recycler is not a hard once per turn, so keep that in mind because you can use the effect multiple times. Next up, we have 1 Gizmek Orochi, the Serpentron Sky Slasher. This card is very, very good. It pushes for games so many times, and it's such a grindy card because you always have access to it. And then a lot of people also forget the second effect, where you can banish 3 cards from your extra deck face down, then target 1 face-up monster on the field and pop it. That's absolutely insane, and it does come up, so keep that in mind when playing the deck. Onto the hand traps, you have 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, one of the best hand traps in my opinion. And then we have 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. So Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is here to represent either itself, Veiler, or Crow. All 3 are very, very good this format. Crow would synergize with Allure of Darkness very well. Ogre is okay for like hitting Needle Fiber, so they can't go into Link Cross right after. And then Effect Veiler is just good in general because you can stop like your opponent's Isolde or like their combo or their normal summon. And then we have 3 Called by the Grave because we do not want to get hit by hand traps in this format because there's a lot of hand traps that are very scary, and like DD Crow, and we just don't want to face against that. So we might as well just run this and just not even look at it, just skip right over that. We also have 3 Orchestrated Return. This card is very, very good. A lot of people don't notice, but actually in the art, that is Galatea over here, which is pretty cool. And then you can send 1 Orcust or World Legacy monster from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard and draw 2 cards. So you can send the Orcust or World Legacy cards that you drew into if you need to get them into grave. And it's a very good card because it's basically a Pot of Greed that allows you to get Nightmare into grave and Wand into grave. So also very, very good. For draw spells, you have 3 Allure of Darkness. Very, very self-explanatory. Almost everything is a dark except for your hand traps and the Scrap Engine. So definitely mandatory. And 3 Pot of Desires. Pot of Desires is also very good because there isn't really a specific card that you need to play the deck other than like Nightmare and stuff like that. But with running so many copies of those cards, there's very, very low chances that you will banish all 3 copies of Nightmare. And then we have 1 Orchestrated Babel because Orchestrated Babel is absolutely insane. It makes all of them quick effects, so it's definitely very, very mandatory. but it is only a 1-of because it is searchable off of Galatea. Next up, we have one Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial, also very self-explanatory. You want to get Orcust cards to grave, you want to get like Gizmic to grave, you want to get Wand to grave, and this does the job. Onto traps, we have one Orcust Crescendo and 3 Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence are negates, and they are not once per turn, so I highly like these. And also, Crescendo is also searchable, and it is a negate and banish, which is very good. Um, Something that you guys might want to try with the main deck would be maybe cutting Called by the Grave to 2 and running Rhoda, so you can search Armageddon Knight. But I feel like it's not that necessary because you have access to 3 Gearsu, which sends them to grave. You have Arma, you have Greffer, you have 3 Recyclers. So I don't think it's necessary, but you can try that if you want. It's really personal. And the other thing, as I said before, Ogre can be Ogre, Crow, or Veiler. It's your really preference. And then that is it for the main deck. Onto the extra deck. We have 2 Dingirsu, the Orcust of the Evening Star. If this card was banned, the deck would absolutely suck. The card's absolutely nuts because it can do so much for the deck. It's the card that evades all rules, basically, because it's a no target, and then it's not like cost, it's nothing. You don't have to tell your opponent which one you're sending, and then you can also attach, which is absolutely insane. And this card is just so good, and you guys definitely should be running at least 2 of this card. Next up, we have 3 Galatea. So this is, you may think that this is a bit of a high ratio for Galatea, and I thought so too, but in testing, it proved to be very good because you are going to be going into Galatea more than you think. Even, like, 2 is good, but I think that 3 is also very good. So you guys can experiment, and it's your choice. Next up, we have, the 1-of Longirsu. Longirsu is not as good as before when Mermaid was a thing and Harp was a thing, but it is still a good card that you guys should be running, and I think that it's good at 1, no more and no less. We also have the 1 Scrap Wyvern, one of the best cards in your extra deck. It combos insanely well with Scrap Recycler because Scrap Recycler plus an Extender equals basically Orcust, Nightmare, and Wand in grave, because basically you would normal summon the Recycler, send Nightmare to grave, then you go through Extender into Scrap Wyvern, and then you go Wyvern effect, special summon back the Recycler, pop the Recycler, which triggers Wyvern to special summon Golem, and then Golem effect, special summon back the Recycler, and then Recycler to dump the World Wand, which is absolutely insane. We have 1 IP Masquerade because you will be going into this pretty much every single end board. In Appaloosa, also the same thing with IP, very, very good. 1 Unicorn for the IP along with Phoenix because it's very generic and you can go into it with IP. Zeroboros you are only making during your opponent's turn with IP. Once again, very, very good. We have 1 Boral Sword because it comes up so much, especially with Gizmek. There's a recursion because Boral Sword and Gizmek is game. And then we have Topologic Bomber Dragon. It comes up. People are sleeping on this card a lot, but I would not sleep on this because with IP, especially, like, this card's absolutely insane. And 1 Barricade Board Blocker. And that is it for the deck profile. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord server. The link is in the description. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.